Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Thank you very much, Mr. Deputy Minister. Let me first of all take this opportunity to thank our host country, the Russian Federation, for this excellent conference. And I'm so proud to be among professionals, excellencies, and colleagues. I have to make an apology right from the beginning that I have a bilateral meeting and I could be called at any point. But until that happens, I'm at your disposal and would like to try to summarize my views in a few minutes. Mr. Chair, you posed a very important question. What is happening in this country? Why are we not succeeding in eliminating terrorism and narcotics in Afghanistan? My short answer to that would be, you cannot solve a problem that has regional and global dimensions in one country alone. If we have to solve that problem, we have to take a regional, global, and comprehensive approach to it. Afghanistan is not the source of the problem. Afghanistan has been made the battleground for this problem. Let me summarize my views in 5 points. First, I agree with this assessment that terrorism is growing. Its capabilities, its violence, and its determination to fight us all. The question is, why is it growing? After all of those sacrifices that we have made together, most nations present here have been either directly fighting terrorism or in one way or another involved to support counterterrorism over the past at least 1.5 decades. But still, we see growth in its capabilities. From our perspective, the reason is, number one, terrorism is used as a state foreign policy. It cannot be defeated unless the states decide not to sponsor terrorism. Number two, terrorism has sanctuaries, hideout places. It cannot be defeated unless these sanctuaries are eliminated. Third, terrorism has financing sources. We cannot deprive terrorism of its operational assets and capabilities unless these financing sources are dried up. Finally, there's a new political and security dynamics in the region that has led to the growth of new terrorist actors, including Daesh, ISIL. The old actors are morphing into new actors and posing new challenges and threats. Now, Daesh was never a phenomenon in Afghanistan, but it has come to Afghanistan. So, a regional problem, global problem, continues to affect Afghanistan. My second point, terrorism is the enemy of all of us. It's not just the enemy of Afghanistan. Let me just quickly, as the general quite eloquently described. Afghan Taliban, the Haqqani network, may be having Afghan agenda. TTP has a country-specific agenda, unfortunately, against Pakistan. LAT has a specific agenda in India. ATIM has a specific agenda in China. However, Al-Qaeda, Daesh, Islamic movement of Uzbekistan have regional and global agendas. While we are fighting all of these networks in Afghanistan, they indeed have both country-specific and regional and global agendas. So let's not make a mistake that terrorism is just a problem of one country. It's not. It's the enemy of all of us. And let me also clarify one issue here, that sometimes people try to trace Islamic origins for terrorism. This is not true. No people has suffered more than Muslims at the hands of terrorism. It has nothing to do with Islam. It is the enemy of Islam. It's the enemy of our civilization. We are losing every day, on average, 30 people to terrorism. Afghanistan has been an Islamic country for centuries. So the issue is not about Islam. The issue is about political, criminal, and ideological problems of elements that are opposed to our civilization. Let me make my third point. Excellencies, while we have now a well-established fact that terrorism is the enemy of all of us, but we do not, while we have a common enemy now, but we do not have a common strategy to defeat that enemy. We don't have it in this region, and I'm not sure we have it at the global level. If there's one way to defeat this terrorism, we've got to develop regional consensus and develop a regional, global, comprehensive counter-terrorism, counter-narcotics strategy. Afghanistan will be your partner in this. Count on us. My fourth point is that Afghanistan, as a front state against terrorism and narcotics, is fully committed to continuing this fight, with or without international support. It's a fight for us to achieve two goals. One, our own survival, and two, not to allow terrorism to use our territories against you. That is the goal that we are pursuing. Now, in this, I'll be frank with you. We are not short of political will and courage to fight them. I mean, you can imagine that no country is losing 15 to 20 of its brave soldiers on a daily basis in today's world, that Afghanistan does. So we are not short of courage and voluntarism against terrorism, but we are short of training, short of equipment, short of assets. And here we appeal to all of you and to our international and regional partners, come and be partner with us in this fight. It's in your interest and it's in our interest. My final point, dear colleagues, fighting terrorism cannot be achieved by just a military strategy alone. You've got to have, this morning, we listened to excellencies, and most of them talked about a comprehensive strategy, combining our political, diplomatic, military, economic, and informational assets. That's what we require to do in Afghanistan and in this region at large. In addition to this, economic growth and economic integration in the region is a key enabler for nations to fight terrorism and narcotics. Afghanistan has a vision to be a connector in Asia, between South Asia and Central Asia, East and West Asia. We do not want to be a divider, and we will not allow terrorism or narcotics to keep us as a divider of this region. I know, colleagues, there's a lot to talk about this. I thank you for your attention. Thank you, Mr. Chair.